Well. So Diablo is getting closer and closer to release. They've even released another advert to generate some audiences for their server slam. I mean, what better way to promote a dark demon ARPG game than to give it the theme of none other than Space Jam? Well, it had slam in the lyrics, right? So I guess that's why they used it, right? Anyway, so this is just a little video not to go over the Space Jam themed advert that they've just released yesterday. By the way, go watch it, it's quite funny. This is just a text on a thread, I believe, on Reddit that I've seen of one in particular who's still on the fence with pre-order. You might have seen somebody already cover this, but I just wanted to cover it as well for the new guys who maybe just watch, maybe come across my videos, but don't really see anybody else's, which is, I find that really hard to believe. Or you're just looking for that Diablo talk, and this is the place that you found it today. If that's the case, then thanks. So we're going to start off with this guy here. He says, it's been a tough sell for me to put the cash down for Diablo 4 for a variety of reasons that I feel that this community may be able to address or expand upon. Now, I'm pretty new to this genre. I'm pretty new to this community, but I do believe I've got a really good indication of what's going to happen, and I'll tell you why. It's because the devs told us. So I'm just going to tell you what the devs told me. I'm going to repeat back, and hopefully that will clear up any misconceptions of the game. First one, though, I can't really help it. The guy, why can't I highlight stuff on screen with Alt key? I'm on PS5, bro, so I really don't know what you're talking about there, but I think I get what he's asking for. He's wanting to hover over and see what the item is before he picks it up. Maybe something like Path of Exiles. He said this is nitpicking, maybe, but he also says at the bottom that you can't buy this game without it. So is that nitpicking? I don't know. I mean, bro, if that's one of the things that you're not really looking forward to, then yeah, straight away I wouldn't recommend this game. So that's the end of the video. No, I'm joking, that's just his first question. Okay, so the next one he says here, I'm really, really worried about Blizzard as a company. Okay, so this is where the new guys versus the old guys kind of have their argument, which I can totally understand. There's games that I've been playing for years, and I've given the devs the time of the day to do everything, and they just can't do anything right, and I'm still playing their game. But as Blizzard, from a new person's point of view, the amount of effort that they've put into the pre-open betas, they've been very vocal, super transparent. I'll go into that more with what this guy's asking in his thread. But he says here, I feel it's safe to say that no matter what happens in the next year or so, Blizzard will be a very, very different company 5 years from now. Why are you worried about what a company's going to be doing in 5 years from now, bro? This game's coming out in the next 5 weeks. You shouldn't really be worried about what they're going to be doing in the next 5 years. I mean, okay, he goes on to say here, between their acquisition by MS and the concerning narrative surrounding their internal talent retainment, I'm convinced that Blizzard that is now releasing Diablo 4 will not be the same Blizzard that is operating Diablo 4 as a live service in 2 years. Okay, so there's 2 points to that. Now, again, Blizzard's going to be a good game. I'm hoping to play a lot of it. Is that going to be 2 years worth, though? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be playing this game solid, and they're going to have to do some crazy, crazy good stuff or new content to keep it going past 2 years. Obviously with the seasons and stuff like that, it's really hard to say. But I wouldn't worry about Blizzard right now, bro. I think everything's going to be okay for the foreseeable future in terms of what you're going to be looking for as a consumer. So don't worry about the Blizzard. As a new boy's take, I mean, I wouldn't ask anybody who's been playing WoW for the last decade. But compared to some of the other game developers out there, these guys are the only ones that I've seen who are talking to their crowd. I mean, please point me in the direction of other live streams of game devs. Obviously, maybe I'm not looking out for them, or it's just not the games that I've been interested in. The fact that they had a beta back in April and they got so much feedback in terms of gem slots, dungeon map layouts, other things like that, they've listened and they've worked on it and they've given us a solution. Where else do you find that kind of thing? I mean, I find it hard to believe that that's an issue. I really do. So, okay, so I guess he's worried about in the next 5 years is the same people that's working on Blizzard now, on Diablo now, not going to be there. But again, bro, I wouldn't really worry about that. There is an old saying there, like I think it's a horse built by community is just a camel in disguise. I'm pretty sure there's a saying in there somewhere. But don't worry about it, bro. Diablo is its own idea, so anybody that comes to Diablo should have a working background of their expectations from previous Diablos. This next one, though, this is quite cool, quite funny to read. I was a D2 player back in the early 2000s, but disliked D3. Yeah, well, I played D2 after I played the Diablo 4 beta. I love D2. I just had to look at D3 on the PSN store and just realize it wasn't for me. It seemed way too cartoony for me, too animated, almost like Path of Exiles, that kind of thing. And that wasn't for me. As you can see in this gameplay, I love that dark, kind of nitty gritty, you know, demon-esque, you know. Who the hell wants to see these floating colours and all that kind of nah. Keep it the way it is. This is why I like it so much. I like that tone. Yeah, but just don't play DS3, bro. That's it. And like I said in the past video, in terms of playing Diablo 4, for me as a new player, I didn't think you had to play the first 2, 3, 4 Immortal. Honestly, the story kind of picks up as it goes on. Yes, there's some lore with some of the characters like Deckard Cain and whatnot. But listen, if you're that into Diablo 4, you'll just go and watch a lore video, right? You're not going to miss out on gameplay just because you don't know what the lore is. Okay, so this one's a bit, I feel sorry for him, but again, I think the game's designed to solve this issue. He says, I don't have a built-in set of friends that I know that are playing this game with me. He says, I had a group of friends that I like to play D2 with, and with D3 I had friends try to entice me over to it as well. With D4, well, everyone's kind of gone their separate ways in the last 10 years. I'm kind of wondering if I should have any hope that D4 will attract a community of relatively non-toxic players that want to dungeon run and chill, or should I expect the worst that gaming has to offer? That's actually a really good point, and I actually wish I read this more before I started the video. There's a couple of points here I want to make in here. It can be quite hard finding people that are like-minded. Coming from me, I've always been a gamer, even in like early 20s, 30s. Now, I'm going to be 40 this year, and I can guarantee you, buddy, that I'm maybe in a worse situation than you. Yes, I mean, my friends are all the same age, but we've all got full-time jobs, friends and family, and they all like to do other things. I don't drink alcohol much, so a lot of them maybe like to go out and party and stuff. I don't really like to do that. So I like to find I've got my real-life friends to do that kind of stuff with. But when it comes to gaming, I like to find the players inside the game. Now, one good example of that is we were waiting for a Shava to spawn on the last open beta, and it was me and a couple of random necromancers and a druid. Anyway, I still talked to him. The guy was all right. Yeah, so that part of the game, bro, don't put it too heavy on yourself to find friends to chill, and you're going to find that. Listen, don't worry. If you're selling stuff in a safe town, or you're just chilling AFK and you see somebody that walk past you, or even if they go, hey, and they, hello, you know, the emote, just have a chat with them. Open up the chat box. Hey, bro, how you doing, man? Like, what's happening? What act you at? All right, you want to hook up and smash this boss, right? Stuff like that, bro. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that was a good point, actually. But again, I think that's going to be really helpful when you just play the game, and if you use the open chat or the open world chat to your liking there. But this last one, this the last point, I think this has to be addressed somewhat in black and white again and again and again and again. It's microtransactions. Now this, what he says in this statement's a little bit all over the place, so bear with me. I think I understand the point he's making. This is a hot button discussion that everyone wants more info on. I don't expect much expansion on this topic, since I feel we are all desiring a clearer understanding of Blizzard's plan surrounding the Battle Pass, expansions, live service and content, etc. Bro, listen. The devs clearly said, and he wanted to be really clear when he said this, that the Battle Pass is going to be purely cosmetic. So there's nothing in that Battle Pass that's going to give anybody the upper hand, that's going to pawn you in PvP or make them progress the game much faster. It's just not going to be there, okay? Yes, you might get XP things, but that's going to be above, that's going to be on the line where everybody gets it. You know, when a Battle Pass comes out, even if you don't buy the Battle Pass, you're still going to get free stuff, right? You're still going to get bits and bobs or whatever. So that's where I'll think you'll get your XP, like, just, I don't know, like XP for an extra hour or something, like the things you see on the screen just now. Something similar to that. Bro, you're not going to be missing out on the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is purely cosmetic. Even my cat is telling you that, all right? If my cat can understand it, I'm sure so can the rest of you guys. I mean, I'm coming to Diablo brand new. I mean, I sat and watched the guys stream. I listened to the devs. There's nothing in the Battle Pass that's going to be overpowered. There's nothing that's going to, it's just not going to happen. They've said that. I mean, in the future, they might introduce like extra gem slots or something like that, or extra stash slots like PoE. And there's actually a thing with Asmongold, one of his viewers, if that will actually be a thing in this store as well in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But the Battle Pass is purely cosmetic, bro, so don't worry about that, okay? So yeah, I mean, that was pretty much all he had to say, but at the end he says, let me address the topics that don't bother me too. He says, cost. Everything costs more expensive now than it did 10 years ago. Any of us who actually buy groceries have experiences this too. So why this price tag isn't uplifting, it's not really upsetting me either. Yeah, I mean, take it or leave it if you want. You don't have to pre-order it. It's up to you. There's going to be so many people making content on this game. Yeah, so the price is a bit crazy, but yeah, I understand what they're trying to do, and it's working, you know. Buy the game, pre-order it, gets a couple of days earlier. If you're still on the fence about the game, maybe just wait until the game's out for a couple of days or up to a week. Just watch your favourite streamers on Twitch or YouTube or whatever. I mean, I'm definitely going to be streaming the server slam, so I would recommend that you play that. Again, that will give you a much better indication if you want to play the game or buy the game or invest in the game as well. The reason why I'm so looking forward to it is it's going to be a time investment as well. I'm just really looking forward to it. So that's my take on it. So just to summarise, like the devs did say that the game's not going to be pay to win. I can't emphasise that enough. And I'll tell you though, the first hint or the first time I do see that, then I'll definitely be stopping playing the game. If they've ever put a weapon or put any kind of fixes in the Battle Pass or microtransactions, as you said, then I'm definitely not going to be doing it. So I understand where he's coming from. But that's going to wrap it up here, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.